Hi. Today I'm going to make a 100% coconut oil soap. I have 45 ounces of 76 degree coconut oil right here. I'm going to melt that in my crock pot right here. And then I'm going to make my lye solution, which I'll show you. And I'm going to figure out how I'm going to scent it and if I'm going to color it and everything as I go. And so I really hope you enjoy this 100% coconut oil soap recipe that you're going to watch. Here I have my liquid that I'm going to use for my coconut oil soap, and I have chosen to use milk, evaporated cow's milk, and I happen to have a bunch. I just happen to have a bunch sitting around, evaporated fat-free cow's milk in a can, and I used a 12-ounce can, and I just completed the rest of my required liquid in there as water. So it's got 12 ounces of fat-free evaporated cow's milk and about 5 ounces of tap water. I really should have used distilled water, but I just used tap water. And I have next to it the coconut oil, the 45 ounces of coconut oil, and that's still melting, and it's on high in my crock pot that I use for soap. I've got my lye here, and I'm going to be filling up my lye there. So I've zeroed out my scale, and I'm going to be filling my container with lye, and I need 6.1 ounces of lye, and then I'm going to pour that into my evaporated milk. It's probably going to get really, really hot really, really fast. As soon as I stir it in, it's going to start to actually burn the milk, which is, it's fine. I didn't freeze the milk beforehand, which would have been nice, but it's okay, because I'm just going to go ahead and pour it into this hot coconut oil anyway, and just start the soaping process immediately. Okay? Melting the rest of the coconut oil. There's just one little piece that hasn't melted. And then as soon as it's all fully melted, I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm not even going to put it on low or anything. I'm just going to let it saponify by itself. I barely gave the lye a chance to dissolve in the milk. It just finished dissolving, big curdles, small little curds, and then now you see this mess in the crock pot, and so let's see what this turns into. Okay? It's going to be something, huh? I think it's going to be a very kind of a light brown, beige colored soap when it's over. I've done a lot of milk soaps in the past, so I know. Let's just see what comes of it. So here's what happened. I came back an hour and a half after I had turned off the crock pot, and because I forgot to incorporate the soap, the oil with my lye solution using a stick blender or mixing sufficiently, then what happened is that you see very much cold separation. The top is the oil and the bottom is the lye solution, and they were very much not incorporated one with the other. So I'm going to heat it up. I've just turned it on to low. I'm going to turn it on to high. I'm going to just try to melt this hard solution with the heat and then use my stick blender to then incorporate. The good thing with making hot process soap is that you can always just reheat everything. If you mess up, you can reheat everything and start again. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just heating it up so it softens up. As you can see down on the bottom under the oil, it's hard as a rock. Not as a rock, but it's pretty hard. Okay, it's hard like stale bread. So I'm going to go ahead and melt and okay, I'll get it to you. Just wait a minute, okay? And then go ahead and stick blend everything so that it incorporates. All right, and we'll come back to it. Dumb mistake. So I've been breaking it up with my spoon and mixing it, and it's getting hot, and it's just basically broken up into chunks, flat chunks that were at the bottom of the crock pot. And I'm really hoping these chunks melt. I guess because the coconut oil is so hard, although really the coconut oil is the oily stuff that's at the top. So I don't know, like the lye solution really hardened up a lot. So I'm waiting. I'm not going to use a stick blender. I'm going to use a hand mixer. And let's see how this goes. It's going to get pretty hot, and I'm going to be really careful and start out really slow. But this is the mess I made because I did not, I forget the word, but it's like homogenize my soap, okay? So to allow it to saponify properly. So basically, saponification has not really happened. And this is kind of a stupid mistake. Always mix your soap. Stick blend your soap. Blend your soap before you leave it alone. So the mixer didn't work out too well. I don't know what I was thinking, so I dug up the stick blender. And as you can see, incorporation is not happening too great. But I think I'm going to cool it off a little. It's on high now. So once I cool it off a little, it's going to really integrate a little bit better. So I'm going to lower the heat down to just keep warm. And then leave it alone and come back and stick blend a little more. So it's going to be a little longer process than what I thought at first. Okay. I just used the stick blender for just like 1 more minute. And I finally got some creaminess, the creaminess I was looking for. As you can see, this is what I should have done when I first poured my lye solution and lye and milk solution into my coconut oil. Okay, it smells pretty creamy. It smells kind of like toasty creamy, and it looks great. So I'm just gonna leave the heat kind of low. It looks kind of like, starting to look like a pudding, and soon a mashed potato, so it's very nice. Looks perfect now. Okay, great. So I just want to show the little, what forms at the top. It's like a little skin that forms at the top, and then in the bottom, we have the hotter soap, which is like clearer, and then at the top it gets dark. This really looks kind of like a pumpkin color, and it's just so pretty, and it smells really good. It smells kind of like some kind of a soup, okay? So I decided to use some lavender and some spearmint and make a lavender mint soap, coconut oil, 100% coconut oil, 25% super fat milk soap. And so I'm gonna be pouring in maybe about 1.5 ounces of the lavender, and maybe definitely less than 1/2 ounce of the spearmint, and see how that goes. I've added some more water to it. It's much darker now, and I've turned off the heat. It's much more liquidy and soft. I guess I'm not gonna cook it anymore, but since I added more water, a little more water, it might take a longer time for it to cure, since I decided not to heat it up anymore. And so that's how we're gonna do it. So I'm gonna put the lavender in to my little measuring cup. It's not really a measuring cup, but it's about 1 ounce, maybe a little more. And I'm gonna put in the lavender. Do you see that? You see me putting in the lavender? Okay, and then I'm gonna put the spearmint. And this one, I'm just gonna do this way.
Sissy, wait for me.
Shh, it's okay. Okay, so I put in like, all right. Can you see that? So I'm gonna go ahead and mix in the essential oils. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see me mixing the essential oils in here?
Yes.
Lavender and spearmint. About 1 ounce of the lavender and a little less than 1/2 ounce of the spearmint, and I'm mixing it in, trying to incorporate it. Once I feel it's completely incorporated, then I'm going to spoon it into the... Here you go, baby. Come on down. I'm going to spoon it into... You're fine. No. I'm going to spoon it into... Can you see the soap?
Yes.
Okay. Spoon it into my molds. I'm going to use 2 loaf molds. In fact,
Mama?
maybe I'll just use 1. Yes?
Never mind.
What? Tell me.
Never mind, I said.
I'm trying to really incorporate the essential oils in there as much as possible. Okay? And it's really, really very soft and creamy. Yes, okay. It's very soft and creamy, and I wish I had a bigger scoop so I can scoop more at the same time. In fact, I'm going to use a ladle to scoop it in to the molds. Now, can you see me scooping it into the molds?
Yes.
Can you see that? Ooh, and it smells really good. I can smell the mint a lot, but it mixes very nicely with the lavender. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Ooh, nice. Very nice. Okay. Just very nice. This smells so good, and I really wonder what color it's going to end up. I didn't add any color. The only thing I did was add the scent because I think the color is just fine all on its own. Okay? I really think that. I'm going to go ahead and tap the air out of my silicone mold. And I'm going to go ahead and move my silicone mold back so I can spoon more soap into the second silicone mold.
Do you have
Okay?
any more?
What's that?
Do you have any more?
Oh, I have a lot more. Enough, more than enough for the second silicone mold, okay? I have a lot. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, great. That's right, baby. You can't touch it. It's not safe for you. You gotta stay far away.
Put the thing in the fridge.
Shh, that's okay. Can you see?
Yes.
All right. So we're spooning these up. I'm trying to get as much as I can. I want to take advantage of every single drop of soap that I'm able to take advantage of here. Okay? I expect this soap to be, since it's 100, can you see that soap there?
Yeah.
Since it's 100% coconut oil, I expect that it can be used even in the coldest water. It will lather up very, very nicely. And since it's 25% superfat, it will not dry out skin as if it were not such high superfat, then it may dry out skin, being that it's coconut oil. Okay? All right. Great. I'm gonna try to get the very last bits all on the edge of the soap of the pot. Okay. I'm just banging the air out of these.
Is there any more of this?
These are gonna be great.
Is there any more?
There's a very, very small amounts just stuck to the side. And I could probably get a tiny little mold and use these in the tiny little mold. But I wasn't ready to do that. So I'll just go ahead and...
Now can I go?
So I have a little end piece of my coconut oil soap. And I'm going to test the lather. The water's very, very cold. And I just cut the soap yesterday. So it's basically like, it's not even 48 hours old. And it is just like amazing lather. Look at this. Amazing lather. Also, when I finish using it, I love the soap. When I finish using it, my hands are not dry at all. Okay? Oh my gosh, it's so soft. I love it. It's amazing. shiny and soft. Not dry or rough or anything when I finish using it. This soap is absolutely amazing. I need to make it again.